Hello everyone, my name is Christy Ahendog, and for today's video, we will gonna talk about multicultural literacy, global literacy, the OECD Global Competence Framework, global competence, and lastly, promoting global competence in schools. So, let's get started. What is multicultural literacy? Multicultural literacy consists of the skills and ability to identify the creators of knowledge and their interests, to uncover the assumptions of knowledge, to view knowledge from diverse ethnic and cultural perspectives, and to use knowledge to guide that will create a human and just world. So basically, the multicultural literacy is the ability to understand and appreciate the parallels and differences between customs, values, and beliefs of your culture. Now, why do we need to understand multicultural literacy? We need to understand the multicultural literacy. It is essential because it serves as a powerful tool in enabling students to gain a better understanding of both their own culture and the cultures of others. Also, it helps us to deeper our knowledge, relationships can be strengthened, and bridging the gap between students from diverse cultural backgrounds. How does multicultural literacy interconnect with 21st century education? Well, living in the 21st century, the one thing that still unbelievably exists is discrimination. Yes. Why? In an ideal world, there would not be any form of discrimination, as every human would have their rights acknowledged, respected, and appreciated. As a means of making this ideal world probable, or at least tackling discrimination, the multicultural literacy is enforced. Multicultural literacy addresses the difficult issues like discrimination, racism, and oppression while promoting social justice for all human rights. It is also brings attention to diversity, equity, and social justice to foster cultural awareness. Multicultural literacy also makes one aware of their own privilege, while helping them to understand why they have privilege and why others do not. The goal of multicultural literacy is to liberate students by connecting everyone together to bring out the vision that there can be a better world that they can help to create. Now let's proceed the global literacy. What is global literacy? Global literacy is to learn and recognize the ability to relate to a situation or experience with a critical perspective by expanding our knowledge to understand the lives that are different from our own across the world. Global literate students are able to understand how the world is organized, interconnected, and recognize their roles within the world. Now, why is global literacy important? It is important because it is vital to prepare our students to be global citizens in order to thrive in a rapidly changing world. As a global literacy, it can be an effective tool in promoting global awareness and respect for diverse cultures around the world by being able to accept differences, to find common solutions, and live in a peaceful world. Also, it is crucial to inform our students with knowledge and skills to recognize what is going on around the world. How does global literacy interconnect with 21st century education? Well, actually, Global literacy is interconnected with different literacies like critical literacy, digital literacy, and media literacy that seeks to challenge students to relate to a situation or experience with a critical perspective by expanding our knowledge to understand the lives that are different from our own across the world. Students will critically examine the information to ensure their sources are reliable, and this will help develop informed global citizens by staying up to date with current news around the world. So let's proceed to the OECD Global Competence Framework. But let me first define what is OECD stands for. OECD is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It is a group of 37 member countries that discuss and develop economic and social policy. The OECD members are democratic countries that support free market economies. As you can see in the screen, this is the illustration of OECD Global Competence Framework. The framework depicts the four dimensions of global competence, encompassing the development of knowledge, values, attitude, and skills that flow along parameters of attaining such competency. So, next is global competence. What is global competence? Global competence is the skills, values, and behaviors that prepare young people to thrive in a more diverse and interconnected world. In a rapidly changing world, the ability to be engaged citizens and collaborative problem solvers who are ready for the workforce is essential. In the 21st century and beyond, this is what all people will need to be engaged citizens, to be prepared for jobs of the future, and to be local and global problem solvers. So it has four domains of global competence. These are the investigate the world, recognize perspectives, communicate ideas, and take action. The idea of global competence articulates the knowledge and skills students need in the 21st century. The global competent students have the knowledge and skills too. That is, first domain is investigate the world. Globally competent students are aware, curious, and interested in learning about the world and how it works. Next domain is recognize perspectives. Globally competent students recognize that they have a particular perspective and that others may or may not share it. Next is communicate ideas. Globally competent students can effectively communicate verbally and non-verbally with diverse audiences. Last is take action. Globally competent students have the skills and knowledge to not just learn about the world but also to make a difference in the world. And for the last topic, the promoting global competence in schools. A school plays a crucial role in helping young people to develop global competence. They can provide opportunities to critically examine global developments that are significant to both the world and to their own lives. Schools can encourage intercultural sensitivity and respect by allowing students to engage in experiences that foster an appreciation for diverse peoples, languages, and cultures. So, that would be all for today's video. I hope you learn, understand, and discover something about these topics. Thank you for listening and goodbye!